Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celebrate Black Excellence. I am Carlton T. Clay. Our next guest is an artist, producer, and he's the lead pastor at Avenue Tampa. Let's welcome to Celebrate Black Excellence, Darius. How you doing today?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Everything's going well. Thank you so much for being here. We definitely thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk with us today.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. I'm looking forward to the conversation, man.
Absolutely. Well, let's get started with your beginning. What inspired you to want to get involved with music?
For me, music has always been a part of my childhood, and I'm born and raised into a family of music. So I guess you can say it's in the bloodline.
Absolutely. Now, you have been described to be a part of the next generation of contemporary Christian music. In your own words, how would you describe the current state of gospel music today?
I think gospel music is evolving. That would be the way that I express it in its most truest and authentic form. It really is taking on new expressions, and I think the expressions that artists are being bold enough to present really make gospel music set for it to be timeless, eternal. Honestly, it could really live and transcend between generations and generations and generations and generations to come. So as long as we keep being bold, artists are keep expressing themselves in new ways, the gospel music industry will continue to evolve. So that's what I would say. I'd say it's evolving.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that answer. Now, who are some of your inspirations when it comes to music? It can be any genre. Like, who are some of your inspirations?
Definitely Stevie Wonder is a huge inspiration of mine musically, and on the gospel side, I would say I grew up listening to a ton of Smokey Norfolk. So a lot of people sometimes will say, "Man, you kind of sound like Smokey in some of your choices and things that you do vocally." I loved he was just a strong ballad male singer. In gospel music, you had a lot of amazing female singers, and so we didn't have many, at least in my era, that I knew of. Now, hindsight 2020, everybody, B Slade, Coley, John P. Key, everybody. But at the time, Smokey was just the name and the sound that inspired me the most in my music journey.
Now, speaking of your music, you released your debut solo album, Live by Faith, live in Tampa this year. Can you talk about the process in putting this project together?
Whew. Long process, lots of hard work, lots of long hours of prayer, and just that album is a soundtrack to my life. It is all of the expressions of faith of how God had to bring me through various mountains over the past 10, 15 years. And each one of those experiences, I wrote a song. And now you hear the soundtrack of that on the actual album. So it really is my testimony in music form.
Now, speaking of hours, you did a rendition of Hours and Hours. You did like a gospel rendition of that. It
Mhm.
did go viral. Can you talk about the inspiration of wanting to do that rendition and what was behind your creative process behind doing that?
So that actually, it's funny you say that because that little clip was a part of a outreach initiative we had at our ministry at our church for creatives, and the goal was to figure out a way to repackage the gospel in a way that they would sit long enough to listen. And so we said, you know what, we're gonna host a singers jam session called Pass the Mic, and we're gonna allow these singers to literally come in and together, and we're gonna flip R&B music. We took hits of R&B and we flipped it to gospel, changed the lyrics, a familiar melody, and then we added our faith on top of that and our message on top of that, and then boom, that was just a short excerpt from that 1.5 hour long broadcast, and that was a couple of years ago actually, and it's just now starting to circulate virally on social media.
Nice, nice. Is any way to get the word out again about the word of the Lord is, I think, whatever you got to do to get that message, I think is very important. So that's very awesome.
Sure, man, absolutely.
Now you have a brand new single out. It's called Greater. It's from your album. Can you please tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Greater is our single right now. Just went to radio, so you guys should be hearing that on a radio station near you. Very excited about the opportunity to collaborate with gospel royalty, gospel legend Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Oh my gosh, if you haven't heard the song yet, she bodied the vamp. My blood brother actually is featured on that song as well too. Samuel Washington Jr. Together, three of us really, God just used us to really bring this prophetic message to the world. that you shall see greater. And people have loved it. Anybody who hears it has given us like raving reviews and raving feedback. So if you want to hear it, people can, like I said before, check it out on all streaming platforms, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere, Amazon Music. And just type in Greater by Darius, all caps with a period, on the Live by Faith live in Tampa album. But yeah, man, that was just the background of how that became. And I'm excited for us to share that music ministry with the world.
Now, what was it like for you to work with the legend, Vanessa Bell Armstrong?
It was surreal, man. It was crazy. I pinched my skin a couple times because when she came in, first of all, she doesn't give grandiose energy at all. She is super humble, super low maintenance, the sweetest soul you'll ever meet. And when she walked into the rehearsal, she was like, "Why am I here?" She was like, "You and Sam, y'all got it." And we was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." I said that the vamp won't be a vamp without the Vanessa Bell Armstrong coming in and doing what only you can do. And man, when she grabbed the mic, I mean, we were done, you know. So it was amazing. It was a very surreal experience, and super grateful for that opportunity.
You are, as we mentioned, you are the lead pastor of Avenue Tampa. You are now renovating a former super center to start. You're building this. You have a church, a pantry, performing arts school, a daycare, recording studio, soundstage, so much more happening. Now, it's next door to a gentleman's club. Can you talk about your decision in choosing this location for your facility?
Yeah, you know, we've always been disruptive though. Even when our ministry started back in Tallahassee, we opened up our first location next to the liquor store. And people, you know, their opinions about that. And then here we are now, fast forward years later, and God has still called us to disruptive discipleship. And he says, "Hey, I know that is a strip club right there, but this is going to be the church." And that the hands and feet of Jesus to offer an opportunity or an olive branch to anyone, patrons, employees, owners, whenever they are ready to yield to something higher than whatever they have been yielded to in their lives. So my decision is what it's always been, is to engage the community. We didn't come for church people. Our ministry is to reach those who need reaching. And so, yeah, it just aligned with our mission, man.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for being that change that that we want to see. So we definitely appreciate you for your bold decisions, for sure. Now, if people want to know more about you, or they want to know more about your ministry, or they want to hear your music, how can they do so?
Please follow me on all the social media platforms. Darius W Official, DARIUS W Official, across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as well as all of the music is on all digital streaming platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, you name it. And just have to look up Live by Faith, Darius, all caps, DARIUS with a period, and you'll see all the music there. And I have other songs and things that we have released over the years for people to be able to connect with the music too. So I'm excited about that.
Yes, and we are definitely excited for you. Now, before we close, is there an encouraging word that you can give somebody who may be watching right now, who may need some encouragement right now? So is there anything that you can give them?
Oh, absolutely. And it's crazy. I was woken up. This is fresh, hot off the press, just
Come
for
on.
you.
Fresh word.
This morning I woke up maybe at 3 o'clock in the morning, and God sent me to Mark, the 11th chapter, and he talked about how Jesus sent his disciples ahead of him to go get the donkey that he was going to ride into Jerusalem on. And he told him, he said, "Look, you're going to go find a colt that nobody has ever before. Is going to be tied up, and I want you to untie it and bring it to me." And the word of the Lord says that if anybody asks you, what are you doing with this donkey? What are you doing? Tell them the Lord has need of it and he'll bring it back. And so that is my word of encouragement to anybody who may be listening. If you felt like your purpose has been tied up, if you felt like you have been stagnant or stationed and you haven't had an opportunity to really ride out your purpose like you really desire to, literally you are one word away from the Lord calling forth your purpose, and it will be the biggest. The next call is going to be the biggest opportunity of purpose that you've ever had in your life, because that donkey had no idea that it would serve the back for Jesus Christ, the Son of Man, the King of Kings, our Messiah, to literally ride into the fulfillment of prophecy of coming to die on the cross. So just because you haven't been written yet, your next ride won't be your biggest, greatest. And so it ties into my single, Greater. It's on the way. That's what I would leave with anybody who is listening or watching this interview today.
Nice. Well, Darius, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for your encouraging words, and thank you for your time. We wish you the best in all that you do, and thank you for being Black Excellence.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys an opportunity.
Nice. Well, all right, everyone. I am Carlton T. Clay. This is Celebrate Black Excellence. We celebrate Black Excellence every day. Have a good one.